Game Time Live for the finals, presented by YouTube TV. Glad to have you along with us for our post-game coverage. Grant Hill, Isaiah Thomas, Brendan Haywood right there. I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you with us as well. The Celtics, again, struggled in the fourth quarter. Golden State, after uncharacteristically losing the third quarter for the first time in the finals, won the fourth by 10. It was really more lopsided than that because they started out 29-14, Zeke, and Boston, after all the clutch time troubles in Game 4, never even got to clutch time. It was never that close.
No, it never was. And I mean, for Boston, it was a matter of turnovers. I mean, when you have 18 turnovers on the road and you can't force turnovers, Golden State only had 6 turnovers. I thought Boston hung around, had every opportunity to win the basketball game. However, they couldn't convert at the right time. They would throw the basketball away. And also you have to question their shot selection at different points and times of the game.
No, I agree with Isaiah 100%. I mean, a fantastic third quarter, very reminiscent of Game 1, their fourth quarter performance, where they actually won that fourth quarter and won that game, Boston. But they really struggled that first quarter. You give a team like this, like Golden State, that kind of lead, you got to be almost perfect to get back in and sustain. They were almost perfect for a stretch there in that third quarter, but once again, the fourth quarter. This time it wasn't the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter like Game 4, where Boston struggled offensively. It was really the first 7 minutes or the first 5 or 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. They just couldn't knock them out. They had a great run there that third quarter, poor offense. As Isaiah talked about the turnovers, Golden State, they won the battle in the paint, plus 14 points in the paint. They weathered that storm, Golden State, and had a great fourth quarter there. They could have, hung their head there, and the momentum felt like it was turning. But Boston just not enough to knock them out. And a lot of it, I think, was just poor offensive execution, which we saw at the end there, Game 4. We saw it in the fourth quarter here tonight.
Warriors began the fourth with 10 unanswered points, and this is a significant win for a lot of reasons. One, it puts the Warriors within a game of another championship, but they did it on a night when Steph Curry did not have his shooting stroke. How many times have we said that in the playoffs? He had hit at least 1 3 in each of his 132 career postseason games until tonight. He was 0 for 9, 7 of 22 from the field, and the Warriors still come out on top.
And that just means this was a great team win. If you would have told me Steph Curry is going to go out there and shoot the percentages that he shot, 7 of 22, 0 of 9 from 3, I'm thinking Boston wins by 15. But Draymond Green brought the energy that we wanted to see from the beginning of the game. Then from that point on, Andrew Wiggins had a great game as far as scoring the ball and rebounding. Defensively, he was active as well. They got some key contributions. Also, some Klay Thompson hit some big-time threes. So this was a very good team win. Their team defense was probably the biggest reason they won this game. And that's why, even though Steph Curry didn't play well, they were still able to win. This time of year, defense travels. And even though it's a home game, we'll just say the defense just traveled to stay with Golden State.
Klay Thompson was the only Warrior with any kind of a stroke from three-point range. He knocked down 5. The rest of the team was 4 of 29 from three-point range. But aside from Steph, major scoring contributions, Andrew Wiggins in particular, Klay with his 21, and the 2 guys off the bench, part of a 31-10 bench advantage for the Warriors tonight. Let's go outside to Dennis Scott, who is maybe not in the middle of the celebration, but above the celebration. You can certainly hear it from where he is. How about the night for Andrew Wiggins, 3D?
Oh, it was huge, man, and you're right. I'm up just a little bit because a little crazy that right behind me, but talking to Andrew Wiggins yesterday, very comfortable, understanding his situation. And Zeke and B. Wood, you'll love this with Grant. When Steve Kerr tells you, go play your game, Wiggs, we know what you do. Don't settle for the 3. B. Wood, you and I were talking about late in that game where Wiggins had wide open three-point shots. He missed 3 in a row. He was 0 of 6 from three-point land. Then he started driving the basketball, attacking the defense, playing with more confidence, playing great defense, and then playing through him down the stretch. Like y'all mentioned, Steph wasn't shooting the ball particularly well, obviously. But Andrew Wiggins showed us now that his talent can be showed on the biggest stage on both ends of the floor. Driving the basketball, playing in the passing lane, and look at that grit right there at the end, showing some personality. So Andrew Wiggins, guys, has reminded all of us how talented he really is on both ends of the floors here in the finals.
Yeah, 3D, he was aggressive all night long. with drives, mid-range shots, and obviously on the rebounds or on the boards, second straight double-digit rebounding game for Andrew Wiggins tonight. Warriors weren't great offensively. It was their defense in part, and again, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but some inexplicably bad Boston offense, particularly in that fourth quarter.
Well, this Boston team, they struggle in that aspect. Their stars have really, at times, had mega turnovers in these playoffs, and we saw it tonight. Between Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum, all of those guys had either 4 or 5 turnovers, and that was huge. That definitely led to the team losing the turnover battle 18-6. So they have to figure out how are we going to get quality high-end shots, and tonight they just didn't have the answers, whether it was poor shots or it was turnovers. That's the reason Boston lost this game from their standpoint. The offensive execution simply wasn't there.
18 assists, 18 turnovers for the Celtics tonight.
You know, when I look at the Celtics turnovers also, I mean, there's a thrust to get to the rim. However, you got to give Golden State, credit for not allowing them to get to the rim. However, they are getting to that 12 to 13-foot range where those are good mid-range shots that they can take, that they can make. However, they take that extra dribble, trying to get downhill, trying to get to the basket, and that's when they get in trouble. They'll beat their man off the dribble, 1-2 dribbles. They can get to the foul line. And Tatum, Brown, they can make those shots. But they're taking that one extra dribble that's getting them in trouble, getting to the basket. Then there's a whack at the ball and there's a turnover, and Golden State is in transition. I thought Golden State did a good job just in terms of defending, but I also think that Boston made some crucial mistakes. Anytime you hold Curry to, the point total that he had, the shooting percentage that he had, and he doesn't make a three, this is a game for you to win.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think you have a situation where people don't fully respect the defense of Golden State. We get seduced by their shooting and their offense and how it's free-flowing, but their defense is one of the tops in the NBA. And you're right, as guys are penetrating, they're not making the right reads for Boston. And this defense, they switch a lot, they have a lot of experience, they have active hands, they play the passing lanes, and so they're able to shrink the floor and really, I think, confuse them a little bit. That's really been the key. When Boston's value the basketball, they've won. And, of course, when they don't have good offensive execution and a lot of turnovers, then you struggle. You give up, 22 points off of turnovers to this team, Golden State, who was struggling shooting. You're going to struggle. And then also, too, just getting back to Wiggins, with Curry and Thompson out there, I know Curry didn't hit shots, but you have to stay attached. And the beauty of Andrew Wiggins, he can put it on the floor and go get a bucket and go make a play.
Right.
And that's a differentiator. And him being aggressive, rebounding, playing defense, all-around game certainly served him well tonight and has this whole entire series.
Well, you may have noticed Jordan Poole is joining us here, and we'll let him get hooked up